Our next speaker, born and raised in New Mexico, grew up in Nambe, a small farming community north of Santa Fe, bordered by the pueblos of Nambe and Pojaque. Since he was sworn into Congress, Representative Ben Ray Lujan has fought to create jobs, ensure access to affordable, quality health insurance, build a clean energy economy, and protect consumers. He stood up for New Mexicans who are struggling in difficult times by voting to provide tax cuts for families and small businesses, working to reform the healthcare system, and fighting to prioritize Main Street values over those of Wall Street. He's also authored legislation that invests in scientific research at New Mexico's national laboratories. Representative Lujan represents his diverse district by participating in a variety of caucuses, including the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, the Native American Caucus, and the Natural Gas Caucus. Representative Lujan sits on the Energy and Commerce Committee, which enables him to serve the needs of the district, from San Juan County in the northwest to Roosevelt County in the southeast. Let's welcome Representative Ben Ray Lujan to the March for Science.
Wow, this is beautiful. I hope you can take a look around and get all this energy and capture it to make a part of you. Breathe it in. This clean air is not by accident, right? It takes work to protect our blue skies. It takes work to protect our water. It takes work to come together. And each and every one of you answered the call from our organizers. Let's give them another round of applause for the work that they did to answer the heat and make sure we were going to be here together. As Senator Udall talked about, and I'll tell you, how about the work that Tom Udall is doing every day to fight for our democracy, turn back Citizens United. I have the honor in Congress now in the House of carrying a piece of legislation that Senator Udall authored. Many of you helped us work together about a decade ago to increase the renewable portfolio standard in New Mexico so we'd have more generation from the sun and from the wind. Isn't that the right thing to do? More renewables in this beautiful state of ours? We're arguing only Arizona has more sunshine than us. There's no reason we can't be doing more. This legislation will fight to establish a national renewable electricity standard of over 30% by 2030. We can achieve that together. We're working with the Union of Concerned Scientists to make this happen, but we need your help. Can we count on your help? I knew we could. Brandon talked about the Scientific Integrity Act. The importance of this piece of legislation is to respect for science and the understanding that science should inform policy and truly be nonpartisan. That's why it's critical that we defend scientific integrity for federally funded research. These budgets that we're hearing from our current president, number 45, would be devastating, not just to the National Institutes of Health, to every scientific research project that we depend on. How many of you have a smartphone or a cell phone in your pockets? Raise your hands up. Thank you, science. How about the landing on the moon? Thank you, science. How about the importance of vaccines in our lives? Thank you, science. It turns out that science is part of our lives, whether we want it to be or not. And behind every scientist, each and every one of you that raised your hands a bit earlier, behind every amazing scientist and every incredible discovery and every piece of innovation in America is an incredible teacher. And we have to do more to make sure we're supporting our teachers and our kids with education. Let's bring science back into the classroom. Critical thinking, problem solving, getting our hands dirty. I think the importance of those science lessons I learned early on in life, which are part of the golden rule, that took a little cup and put a seed in it and a little bit of nurturing and soil, a little bit of sun and water. It turns out that science too, it's called photosynthesis, right? I think in Congress we can benefit from some hearings on photosynthesis. Independent scientific research helps our government make sound, evidence-based public policy decisions that keep dangerous substances out of our food and water, our homes and our workplaces. We cannot allow special interests or political ideologues to manipulate that process. Do you agree? That's why I'm, like Tom Udall, a proud co-sponsor of the Scientific Integrity Act across America. And I'll close with this as I introduce a young man. by the age of 9 years old with the Global Warming Express. Now, these are a group of students that have answered the call when they say that Congress or the president or here in the state of New Mexico that no one's going to listen to move policy forward. These young leaders have said, well, I'm not going to wait. We're going to do it on our own. And I think that's what each and every one of you are doing, right? So there's great hope in our future with the Global Warming Express. There was one young lady that had an incredible sign as I was walking up. And I think her father was a climate scientist, so wherever you are, I want to acknowledge you. Her sign said, I love science, we love science. My daddy is a climate scientist. Climate scientist helps animals. If it's too hot, the animals will die.
LED the way!
If we can't listen to the children, to the youth in our lives, who can we listen to, right? So let's take the heed to their call and make sure we get this done together. Chris Contentious, a friend of mine, told me on the way up, look, it's this simple. If you go visit with 100 doctors, and 97 of them diagnose you with cancer, and 3 of them don't, who are you going to listen to? When 97% of climate scientists tell us that climate change is real, we need to listen to them and make sure we do something about it. And Ariel is going to do that. Ariel, come on up and join us. Put your hands together and welcome Ariel with the Global Warming Express, everyone.
I love learning about climate science because it's very important to people. Because we have to learn about nature. Because we are killing nature. Because animals and lands are burning, and the lands that I'm talking about are icelands. They are melting because we are burning fossil fuel from cars. They are burning fossil fuel because gas is coal, and the smoke goes to the sky and make it pollutes the world, and we're throwing trash to the lake and making animals suffer. And we have to start getting solar power electric cars to not burn fossil fuel. Thank you.
Now let's heed Ariel's call and get something done, everyone. Thanks for being here, Santa Fe.